Hello, welcome back this evening. Back streaming, back from setting up food stamps, and yeah, here we go. I heard Great Father Titan loves crystals, cherishes, covets, loves them, and if we gather enough, he will return. That's why Patriarch told everyone to go forth and gather them. So I was thinking, if we take all the crystals away, maybe the Great Father won't come. Very good, Gabu. I was just thinking the same thing. Do you know where these crystals are stored? I know. Several spots, each defended by a different order. Gabu wanted to steal them, but he was too afraid to go alone. Yes, too afraid to go alone. But together we can take them away and hide them. Come, Gabu will lead you to the first catch. Hey, race to the crystals. Alizai and I will stand guard for any air patrols. That hardly seemed fair. Then again, they only have themselves to blame. Quickly. Do you have them all? Good. Lead on, Gabu. This way. If I did not know any better, I would say this crate was. What are you waiting for? We stand lookout. You take the crystals. If they find us, you'll protect me, won't you? Time is short. If you have the crystals, we should move on to the next catch. Did you hear me, brother? Brother. Aye. It's just that. I am quite certain that that crate once bore Ishgardian seals. Someone took great pains to remove all traces, but enough remains to make out the pattern. See for yourself. I struggle to imagine kobolds traveling to Corthias to obtain crystals, much less bothering to conceal their origins. I suspect these crystals were smuggled into Fibrand by another party, most likely a pawn of the Asians, as Thancred speculated. I don't understand. Who are the Asians? Do they worship Great Father Titan too? Ah, never you mind about that. As Alize said, we do not have a lot of time. Can you lead us to the next cache? Gabu? Yes, of course. Gabu knows the way. The next one is the last one and is very large. Very big, very huge, very large. Gabu said the catch would be here, but unless it is remarkably well hidden. But they were here, heaps and heaps of crystals. We should pack up the crystals and leave now. The kobolds could stumble upon our handiwork at any moment. Though you cast about time, you see no sign of crystals. Confound it, what about you, yo? Any luck? Nothing, nothing, nothing. But this cannot be. Gabu saw them. Spotted, saw. Think, brother. They must have moved them, yes? The question is, where to and why? Within Ogamino, where they summoned Titan once before and mean to do so again, it is the only explanation. What about mother and father and others? We have to help them. And we will, Gabu, we will. Stay calm, we still have time. They have yet to call for the remaining crates, yes? If they had, then they would have found the other caches empty and surrounded the Allurium. Nevertheless, I believe the time for stealth has passed. We must breach the navel and seize the remaining crystals. There is no other way to prevent Titan summoning. But first give me your crystals, that I might deliver them into Commander Blodine's custody. We dare not take them into the bowels of the mountain. Alphinaud's right. 'Twould be folly to deliver the kobolds the very thing we sought to deny them. Mother, father, we're coming. The crystals, yo, if you would be so kind. Thank you. I shall deliver them to Camp Overlook for safekeeping and brief Commander Loden on the situation. Pray go on ahead. As I recall, there is an aetherite within the Uganamo mine that should deliver you to the navel. Gabu doubtless knows the way. Wait for me there, I shall rejoin you anon. Strange, I would have thought you eager to remain in the thick of action. But if this is what you would prefer, then Godspeed, brother. This way, this way. Of course. I take it this is the aetherite we seek. Right then. As soon as Alphinaud arrives, we go. I trust you're feeling suitably heroic. Yo, there's no telling what sort of resistance we'll face in there. Quickly, you clods. Briskly, swiftly, quickly. I will not suffer any further delays. Lay down your arms and surrender. We have your crystals. There will be no summoning this day. Overdwellers? Here. But how did you... Where are my parents? Patriarch, where are they? Mother? Father? Coke for the furnace. You monster, how could you? Ooh. We are but servants of Lord of Crags. We are his, that he may drink of our blood and partake our flesh, that he might draw upon the strength of his children and defend them from the tyranny of the overdwellers. No, LSA, not yet. I understand, Patriarch. I do. Your fear, your anger, your hate. You would do anything to protect your people, anything to deliver them from despair, whatever it takes to ensure that those who threaten you can never do so again. But in your single-minded pursuit of this objective, you have brought suffering of your own kith and kin. You have sacrificed the lives of the very people you sought to protect. But it need not be this way, Patriarch. Renounce this bloody course. Cease your attempts to summon your god, and work with us together to build a lasting peace. Another peace to be abandoned all at the overdwellers' convenience. Oath-breakers, all of you. Liars, betrayers, oath-breakers. You take and you take and you take, and when you have had your fill, you sue for peace. You promise that this time is the last, until you grow hungry again. Yeah, got us there. And when we dare to defend ourselves, you declare that this beast tribe cannot be suffered to live, that our God drains the land of ether and brings naught but suffering, death, destruction, suffering upon us all. I will hear no more lies from you and yours, overdweller. You've ruined your own lands. You'll not ruin ours. I said I'd come for you, and I did. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Say something, please. 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 Wake up, 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 wake up. Wake up. Oh, it's because he summoned them. Interesting. Okay. I didn't know it worked like that. 7 health. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Oh, maybe not. Alphino, leave him to me. It's a carbuncle to the face. We must away. He's breathing and I don't see any injuries, but I can't seem to wake him. By the 12, how could I be so foolish? I should have known better than to let Gabu accompany us, given what we were like to find. His anguish and despair have served to birth a primal just as surely as would the supplications of the faithful. Worse, being born of such tumultuous emotion, the incarnation of Titan seems incapable of naught but violence. If we have one cause for optimism, it is that while many crystals were present, they represented but a fraction of the quantity intended for the summoning ritual, meaning that Titan must be far weaker than planned. Be that as it may, he is yet a primal, and the longer we leave him to bleed the land of ether, the stronger we will grow. And should Titan be permitted to leave Ogarmo, more lives will be lost. The Maelstrom will rally their troops, and the cycle will continue. Yo, you know what must be done. Will you face the Lord Craigs once more? Thank you, my friend. Alizai and I will tend to Gabu. When you have finished with the primal, look for us in Camp Overlook. We will be expecting you. I have faith that you will return to us, just as you always have. Really, I have to redo this? Okay. Gotta love PS4 load times. Guess we get a little concert while we wait for this. Oh, no. Might be over. Nope, I lied. Good old tank program. Still based. Hey, I know this band. I love Dearly Beloved Man.
go.
Shit. Fuck. Okay. You're back, gods. What a relief. Ah, there she is. Did I not tell you she returned safe and sound? The deed is done then? Titan is no more? Good. Then there has been enough tragedy this day. He has been like that since he regained consciousness. We believe he can hear us, but he has made no attempt to respond. He is almost certainly still in shock, but excuse me. But we cannot discount the possibility that he succumbed to the primal's influence. Should that prove to be the case, he must be put to death like any other thrall, such as the Alliance policy. Yes, you have the right of it. Oh, that's heavy. But we must not rush to conclusions. After all, we once feared that Yaze's followers were beyond reason, and many have since laid down their arms and accepted Ishgard's peace. We can but watch, wait, and pray. I know what happened. God's help me, I was there, but the thought that we might have to... Seven hells, he's just a child. There is not to be gained from dwelling on an eventuality over which we have no control, much less one which may never even come to pass. Let us tend to more immediate matters, informing Commander Bolden of Titan's demise, for example. You may be certain that he will be glad of the news. Would you be so kind as to break it to him? Ah, you're a sight for sore eyes. When the others come back without you, I feared the worst, but they said you had matters well in hand. All settled then, is it? I'm glad to hear it, but not half as glad as my men'll be. Believe you and me. Regardless of whether or not he was summoned properly, a primal's a primal, and there's ain't a soul in Maelstrom that hasn't lost a friend to one. Don't get me wrong, like, we were all prepared to do our part, but we weren't so naive as to think we'd live to tell the tale. Thankfully, of course, it didn't come to that, which, my friend, sounds to me like cause for celebration. Now, I know you have a lot of places to be, but why not stay for the night? We'd be honored to raise a glass to the triumphant return of Titan's Bane.
Who goes there? Oh, it's you. Forgive me for straying from the camp. He hasn't been feeling too welcome, to say the least. I thought a change of scenery might do him good. But, alas. So quiet out here. The stars spread out before us, beckoning across time and space. Dawn may banish even the darkest night. How bitterly beautiful, those words. I should be stronger for all my experiences, yet my heart aches more than ever. I never understood why Grandfather gave his life that day. I thought that if I came here, I would find the answers I needed. But when I finally laid eyes on the land he sacrificed everything to save, saw firsthand the bickering, the pettiness, I was disappointed. I was angry. I could not fathom how these people were more deserving of his love than his family, than me. Nevertheless, I had to believe he had good reason. I was determined to uncover the whole truth of the calamity and, perhaps in so doing, find my own purpose in this sea of chaos. My travels have been enlightening, but I cannot say that I have enjoyed them. I have lost count of the many petty crises that I was helpless to resolve and of the people whose actions I could not understand. There were others, of course. Good people. People with whom I felt a kinship, whose lives I could not save. I found myself asking what it was all for. Why try if I was doomed to fail in the end? But then I recalled Grandfather's words to my father, years ago, before he left Charlayan behind forever. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. We must all protect that which we hold most dear in the manner of our own choosing. We have to try, do we not? Of course, it's one thing to try and another to do. There were times while I was tracking the warriors of darkness when I faltered, when I was afraid. But then I thought of my brother, of Urianger. Oh, pray forgive me. This conversation has been rather one-sided, hasn't it? Mayhap you could recount some of your adventures in Ishgard.
I traveled far and wide with two companions, Asanian and Yasugire, who were very under the same, some rather unique standards. I had the pleasure to fight alongside Sir Emmerich. Yeah, when Alphonode and I came at last to the Travinian hinterlands.
We had no clear memories of our life in the hinterlands, having returned to the motherland as infants. Nevertheless, I am quite familiar with Master Matoya, as is every Charlene. I should like to speak with her someday. It would not surprise me if Alphino's recent maturation was at least somewhat due to her sage guidance. I would never tell him this, of course, but there have been moments when I've caught myself thinking of him as an elder brother. The hopes and dreams of so many rest on your shoulders, Warrior of Light. As long as the sun rises, we can but carry on, for the sake of those we hold dear.
Aw.
To what end dost thou cling to the tainted gifts of the Mother?
Every tool has its purpose. Even this. Well, what is it?
The seeds sown in Vilbrand have been plucked from the earth and left to wither. Alas, Titan's demise sufficed not to drive the kobolds to deepest desperation.
What did the man in white have to say?
That we are to proceed as he did first set forth.
Well, that's easy for him to say! It's not his bloody world on the brink of destruction, is it?
Be thou well reminded that with an end to Ishgard's unrest, naught now remaineth to preoccupy the Scion's thoughts, and thus may they devote their every energy to thwarting thee and thine. I foresee only greater difficulties ahead.
Foresee? Are you sure you don't welcome them? I'm starting to think you might hold a candle for your old friends after all.
Pray do not mistake mine intent. I but look upon the path which lieth before us with due trepidation.
I think I know who he is, but I'm not gonna say it.
Shouldst thou be of like mind, pray consider then another course. For the power to invoke the ardour belongeth not unto the Ascians alone. With thine own hand strike down thine enemy, the so-called hero who would see thy home lost to light. Do but this, and thou wouldst at a single stroke disrupt the all-too delicate balance of this realm, plunging her straightways into chaos.
You do realize what you're suggesting, yes?
To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. The words of my teacher, and a creed I hold close to my heart.
It is. Is it Orianche?
Very well. Draw her out. We'll make it quick.
It shall be done. What good a creed one cannot uphold? What hurts soothed? What lives saved? Oh,
hapless fool, what hast thou wrought by thine own hands? Nymphilia, my friends, I shall not now beg your forgiveness.
hapless fool, what hast thou wrought by thine own hands?
Paineth me to walk it, I shall not stray from
Nymphilia,
my chosen path.
my friends, I shall not now beg your forgiveness.
So too shall I.
Full deeply though it paineth me to walk it, I shall not stray from my chosen path. As Moonbreeder remains steadfast, so too shall I.
Wow, okay. He's Estinian. Wait, Estinian? Urianger. He's Urianger. That's crazy. Hey. What's he doing? What? Oh, yo, I trust you had a good night's rest. I was but this moment speaking with Thancred and Yastol as being a link pair. They had some interesting news to share. Apparently, during the course of their respective investigations, both came across crates which had once borne Ishgardian seals. 'Twould seem that someone in the capital has been very busy indeed. Accordingly, the Temple Knights have launched a full-scale investigation. Sir Emmerich believes that this is the only matter of time before it is only a matter of time before the culprits are found. But we shall have to wait and see. In the meantime, it seems only prudent to look into the recent activities of the other tribes, in case they too are flush with Ishgardian crystals. And with that in mind, I suggest we pay Urianger another visit. Wait, where is Alize? She was here a moment ago, with Gabu. Yeah. Let me guess, it's time to leave, isn't it? My apologies for disappearing again. If it's any consolation, I have already packed my things. How is he? Brother, Commander Bolden, something tells me you are not solely here out of concern for his welfare. But to answer your question, there has been no change. He will not speak or eat. I'm not even sure if he slept. If he did, he seems none the better for it. He just shuffles about with that same expression on his face. You will look after him, won't you, Commander, and treat him with every kindness? He's still in there, I know it, beneath the anguish and despair. He's still fighting with all his heart. He deserves to be given that chance until he comes back to us, until we know for certain what has to become of him. Aye, you needn't worry. If he hadn't risked his neck to warn us and help you secure the better part of the crystals, this could have turned out a damn sight worse than it did. We'll not soon forget that, and nor will Maelstrom Command. I'm so sorry, Gabu, I truly am. You should never have been made to, and I know I cannot possibly understand. Mayhap there's nothing I can do or say. The pain, the anger, the helplessness. Hold fast to the memories of better times. Remember them as they were. And when it hurts so much your heart feels fit to burst, let it burst. Let it burst and fill up again with your love for them. And never, ever forget. Come along, little one. I will remember them. And you, Alize. Thank you. Ah. That's good. Have faith, sister. Your words have reached him. In time he will recover. And those who orchestrated these events will be made to answer for their crimes. A thousand times over, they will be a reckoning. There will be a reckoning. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. We have heard the glad tidings from Ogamino, my friends. By the grace of the 12 and your most valiant efforts, the people of Limonza have may rest easy. Ahem. I should like to think so, yes. Though we failed to prevent the Lord of Cracks from manifesting, we did succeed in weakening him, enabling our friend to dispatch him before the warriors of darkness could make matters worse. 'Twas by no means an unmitigated success, but it will have to suffice. Then let us speak of another matter, one which weigheth heavy on my lady's mind. As thou didst request, I sought out the Gurun oracles, that we might better understand the aims of the warriors of darkness. Though their copious use of allegory defieth any single interpretation, the oracles paint a most disturbing picture, one of worlds parallel to our own. Apart yet linked, reduced to ruin with every umbral calamity. Okay. 7 times they have succeeded. Then of 10 and 3 only 6 worlds remain. Aye, all is as my lady Menphilia spake unto thee. As for what becometh of these reflections when they and the source are rejoined, frail flesh undone in umbral fires, each soul surrendereth to her call, to flow unto the endless sea, there to endure as one and none. Then if the warriors of darkness succeed, everyone in their world will die? In essence, aye. The verse speaketh of the reunification of the flesh, and subsequent return to the life stream. However, this fate may yet be preferable to the alternative, for if the first were to fall to transcendent light in the manner the warriors of darkness described, it would give way unto a void where none may know either life or death. For far better to die, they reason, for in death there is life, the essence of a soul which returneth unto the source may be born anew, saved. Such at least is their belief, I surmise. Okay. If that's true, then, gods, no one should ever have to make such a choice. Ere we speak further on the subject, I would share with thee another recent discovery. 'Twould seem that several sizable shipments of crystals have been delivered into the hands of certain Alamegan parties. Alamegan, strange, and yet you believe this to be the work of the same Ishgardian smugglers who supplied the beast tribes? I know beyond a shadow of doubt, and lest you wonder at their motive, I would remind you that the Asians did once attempt to bring about the summoning of Ragnar. The individuals who took receipt of these shipments are refugees belonging to a group devoted to the cause of Alamegan liberation. It may also interest thee to know that their Ishgardian suppliers appear to be none other than the remnants of Elen Broly's network of spies. Surely you jest, and yet it is not so surprising. Bereft of leadership and hunted by the Alliance, I can well imagine such villains being desperate enough to conspire with the Asians, assuming they even know or care who their new employers are. All of which is irrelevant. Forgive me. We must seek out the resistance group which received the crystals without delay. Yo, Alize, will you come with me to Little Alamigo? Yes, of course. I should like to hear what they have to say for themselves firsthand. Alize knows, man. She knows something's up. May you ever walk in the light of the crystal. Alpha Note, Alize, yo, are you there? Are you three listening? Good, I have tidings. The Temple Knights raided the smuggler's warehouse less than an hour ago. A cursory interrogation of the prisoners yielded confirmation that they were in the employ of, and I hope you are sitting down, a man in black robes. Then you have them, and the crystals too? What few remained, aye. Regrettably, it would seem they dispatched one final shipment in 3 hours before we struck. 'Twas bound for Little Alamigo. We are told where it will be received by members of a local resistance group. Since Sir Emmerich's men no longer have needs of my services, I have a mind to head that way. As do we. By happy coincidence, we learned the shipment but a few moments ago. Ha! And here I was thinking I might finally be one step ahead of the Warrior of Light and her little helpers. Ah, wait a moment, there is more, and I defy you not to be surprised by this revelation. The leader of the Ishgardian smugglers was formerly in the employ of one of Ellen Broly, the infamous Ivy herself. Once again, Thinkard, I fear I must inform you that. Thinkard, with whom else have you shared this information? About the smugglers, no one. As I think I mentioned, the raid was less than an hour ago. I was planning to contact Yastola next, but there is someone else you would have me notify first? No, there isn't. What in the world has gotten into her? It's twice now we have sought Urianger's aid, and twice she has treated him as if he were a stranger. The Archon was one of Grandfather's most dedicated pupils, and spent as much time as the Levier estate as we did. He's practically a member of the family. Truth be told, I struggle to recall a day from my childhood when I did not see the three of them laughing together. If this continues, I may have to raise the matter later, though. Little Alamigo awaits. Still no sign of Thancred. I will get to the bottom of this. Oh, forgive me, it has been a long day. Did you have something to say? Arianje? Oh, I've always struggled to understand what's going on in his head, now more than ever. Listen, if anything should happen, it should be me who. Just know that I am prepared to do what must be done. Right then, to more pressing matters. Since we have no idea when Thancred might arrive, I suggest we see what information we can gather in his absence. Let us pray that someone will be willing to speak with us about the resistance. So, to review, we were reliably informed that members of the Alamegan resistance operating here have taken receipt of several large shipments of crystals, our task being to ascertain who and why. Given the size of the settlement, I find it hard to believe that anyone here could be wholly unaware of the resistance movements. The challenge, of course, will be finding individuals who are both able and willing to share such information with outsiders. It would seem sensible to divide our forces. Why don't you question the residents in the eastern half of town? Alizai and I will do the same in the west, and afterwards we can rendezvous here to share our findings. The resistance? Damned if I know. It's not as if I'd be of any use to them. If you set store by all these tales of secret weapons, good luck to you. But I'm too old for the maths, bedtime stories. This is our lot, and it's time we got used to it. I see you there going around asking questions, looking for the Griffin and his lot, I bet. Seems they're the talk of Little Alamigo these days. Folk wondering what he's about and what he's got in store for the Guardians, and what's under that mask of his, of course. Some say he's hardly got a face, what with all the scars. Others reckon he's been marked for death by the Empire, and that they'd send a bloody legion if they knew he was here. Your guess is as good as mine. Let me guess. Come to join the fight, have you? No need to deny it, my friend. You're not the first to answer to the Griffin's call. While he's lit a fire in every Alamegan's heart, he's also inspired more than a few old Daldans to pledge themselves to the cause. And little wonder, the Guardians won't stop until we're all under the yoke. Well, that was easier than expected. There's not a soul here who isn't eager to talk about our masked friends. I suppose I should ask what you learned, but I think I know already. The Griffin seems to be the leader of a newly formed faction within the Resistance. The Mass, yet despite their growing popularity, no one seems to know much about them, only that they are the most aggressively militant group to join the movement in recent memory. Indeed, many claim their commitment to the cause of Alamegan liberation is unrivaled. We can but hope their revolutionary fervor is never channeled in the direction of a primal. Though I feel confident that this is the group which received the crystal shipments, we yet lack proof. Before taking any action, I would speak with the settlements leader to confirm my suspicions, and mayhap enlist his help while I am about it. Given that you and Gundabald are already acquainted, mayhap it would be best if you took the lead, shall we? To hear people speak of him, the Griffin sounds like a man in his middle years. But if that's the case, just what has he been playing at for the past 2 decades? If he's so devoted to the cause, why has he waited until now to do something about it? Unless, of course, he hasn't. Naught would please me more than to be wrong about all this. Much as it pleases me to see you again, I cannot help but wonder if I should be worried. I hear you and yours have been asking questions. The Griffin? Aye, I know of him, as do we all. He and his mass have been becoming a leading faction within the Resistance. Though there was suspicion at first given his secretive ways, he quickly proved himself a charismatic and capable commander. Men are drawn to his passion and his vision. They truly believe that he has what it takes to lead them to victory. Even I cannot help but admire the man for what he's accomplished, but I have not forgotten Wilfred. I was blind to the dangers of his ambitions, and you were not. The Griffin will soon deliver a speech to our people at the sunken temple of Yarn. Go and see him with your own eyes. Weigh his words with your own heart. How convenient. 'Tis but a pity. Thancred is not here to join us. You two go on ahead. I shall stay behind and wait for him. Okay. I gotta go. That was nice. Has it begun already? I hear voices coming from within.
Brothers and sisters, 20 years ago, Alamigo, our home, was claimed by the Garlean Empire. In our haste to overthrow...
Brothers and sisters,
we turned
20 years ago, Alamigo, our home, was claimed by the Garlean Empire.
For a new tyrant to succeed the old.
In our haste to overthrow the King of Ruin, we turned a blind eye to our foes in the north. With our glorious revolution, we but laid a path for a new tyrant to succeed the old. And when confronted with our failure, we fled.
And I know each and every one of you feels the same.
Not a day goes by that I do not think of those we left behind. Think of them and feel ashamed. And I know each and every one of you feels the same.
Building the twisted steel ramparts which now mar our once majestic mountain.
We abandoned them, our own flesh and blood, to labor till their backs gave in and their breath gave out. Building the twisted steel ramparts which now mar our once majestic mountains. We abandoned them, the brave and true, to fight and die for their country, or worse, to be conscripted and sent off to rob another poor bastard of his home. We abandoned them, the meek and powerless, to bow and scrape when the Garleans pass, to sully themselves that they might live to see another day of misery.
Not a fraction as merciful.
The Black Wolf may be dead, but a new Imperial Viceroy reigns in Alamigo now. A beast, not a fraction as merciful.
Only we.
You all know the Eorzean Alliance will do naught to oppose him. For all their promises and platitudes, they will not act if there's no profit in it.
They have imprisoned us.
Only we can free our brothers and sisters from the Empire's tyranny, my friends. Only we have the courage to stand and fight. They have imprisoned us. They have enslaved us, and they have murdered us. But no more! Blood demands blood, and the Garleans shall pay for every drop they have spilt upon our lands.
Our righteousness. Only join us, and we shall grant you the
This I promise you, for we have a power within us, my friends, a power befitting our pride, our righteousness. Only join us, and we shall grant you the means to unleash it, and together we shall see the Alamegan standard raised over the mountains of Gia Albania once more!
Wait, is that...
A
Oh,
power
shit.
befitting their pride. Not at all ominous,
What are
that.
you doing here?
Wait, is that...
I could ask you the same thing. Well, this is quite the surprise.
What are you two doing here?
If you see what I see...
I could ask you the same thing.
Might I suggest we continue this conversation in more agreeable surroundings?
Well, this is quite the surprise.
If you see what I see, if you feel as I feel...
Might I suggest we continue this conversation in more agreeable surroundings?
For it is not strength of arms that will win this battle, but strength of heart.
Of all the places to meet, it has to be fate. Mayhap it was my imagination, but you seem rather more rugged and world-weary than the last we spoke. Words cannot express how glad I am to see you both alive and well. And you, though it was pretty obvious you and Yo would be fine. The Crystal Braves never had a realistic chance of capturing any of the Scions, divided as they were and distrusted by the better part of Eorzea. But if you can truly believe that, forgive me. For what exactly have you two been doing all this time? Repaying a favor. After the banquet we had no choice but to flee to Ul'dah, and we would not have been able to do so without the aid of some old friends from the Resistance. That's right, they smuggled us out of the city and sheltered us in Little Alamigo, all at great risk to themselves. Obviously we couldn't let that go unacknowledged, so we offered to help them out with their operations for a while. When we learned of the Scion's exoneration, that Lolorito had severed all ties with the Crystal Braves, and that General Robon had been reinstated, we resolved to make contact, but having long since discarded our link pearls as a precautionary measure, our options were rather limited. To make matters more complicated, we were embroiled in a delicate operation at the time, leaving me with little choice but to entrust a letter to a courier. I gathered from your puzzled expressions, however, that you never received it. To be honest, we thought this might happen. While the masks are happy to let the refugees spread the word within the community, they're pretty strict about communicating with outsiders. Oh, so it's a cult. Oh, and we also heard a rumor that the Griffin doesn't want us meddling in his affairs. The Griffin mistrusts the science of the Seventh Dawn. Curious. It is well known that we are no friends to Garlemald. One would think the man we saw beseeching all the Sundry to join his cause would welcome our support. I should say that the man you saw was not in fact the Griffin, but an impersonator, and a talented rabble-rouser to boot. 'Twould not surprise me if he were responsible for the majority of these public appearances. As you may have gathered, the Griffin is an extremely cautious and distrusting man who has made every effort to conceal his identity. Even when we participated in a raid under his direct command, we were not permitted to approach him. It's hard to know what to make of it all. The secrecy, the impersonators, the masks. What? It's not as if I'm making you all wear one, and mine only covers half my face. It's completely different. Anyway, when we heard the Griffin was due to give a speech, we thought it might be a good opportunity to get a better sense of the man behind the, better sense of the man. For all the good it did. And now you have heard the whole of it, but tell me, what prompted you to take an interest in the Griffin? Summoning? You're not serious. I can't believe it. The Resistance would never even entertain such a ridiculous plan, but the Griffin, well, that man is an enigma. I cannot say with any confidence what he would or would not do. What I can say, however, is that the speech we heard today was not the first to make reference to a power capable of defeating the Empire. The masks have made many such claims of late. I confess I had assumed it to be mere bluster, but in the context of shipments of which you spoke, it is not impossible that they are alluding to a primal. Whatever it is, we'll find out together, and if anyone tries to stop us, they'll answer to me. Indeed, that is assuming you'll have us. Okay. I gotta pick somebody up from work. So, I'll see you in the next one. Yeah.